Right then, let's talk about something truly lovely: brown sugar. It's that gorgeous sweet stuff that makes our baking so delicious and comforting. So what is it really? Simply put, brown sugar is a type of sugar that gets its beautiful color and rich flavor from molasses. It all starts with sugarcane or sugar beets, the same plants that give us regular white sugar. But the magic of brown sugar is that it keeps a bit of that dark, sticky syrup called molasses mixed in. This gives it a soft, sandy texture and a wonderful caramel-like taste that is just brilliant. Now, you might be wondering what makes it different from the white sugar you pop in your tea. Well, it's all about that molasses, my friends. White sugar has had all its molasses completely removed through a refining process, which is why it's so pure and white. Brown sugar, on the other hand, either has some molasses left in it or has it added back after refining. This is a game changer for flavor and texture. It makes brown sugar moister and gives it a deeper, more complex taste that reminds you of toffee or caramel. It's what gives your sticky toffee pudding that oomph. The story of brown sugar is a long and fascinating one, stretching back thousands of years. Sugarcane was first grown in places like New Guinea and then spread to India and Southeast Asia. In ancient times, people would chew on the raw sugarcane to get that sweet kick. The process of turning the juice into crystals was a massive discovery. Early forms of unrefined sugar, which were very similar to the brown sugar we know today, were considered a luxury. It was a prized ingredient, used not just for its sweetness, but also as a medicine and a status symbol for the wealthy. Thinking about how they used it back then is just fantastic. It wasn't just for making desserts. In ancient India and across the Middle East, brown sugar was a key part of traditional medicine. People believed it could help with colds, digestion, and all sorts of other ailments. It was also used to preserve fruits and other foods, long before we had fridges. This natural, unrefined sweetness was a gift from nature that people cherished. It was a fundamental part of their food culture, connecting them to the land and the seasons in a really beautiful way. So, how do we get this lovely stuff from a plant into our kitchens? The process is quite brilliant, really. Traditionally, making brown sugar was a very hands-on job. Farmers would harvest the sugarcane and press it to squeeze out all the sweet juice. Then they would boil this juice in large, open pans. As the water evaporated, the liquid would get thicker and thicker until sugar crystals started to form. The resulting mixture of crystals and molasses was a raw, unrefined sugar, full of natural flavor and color. This method is still used in many parts of the world to make traditional sugars like jaggery or panela. In today's world, most of the brown sugar you buy from the supermarket is made in a more modern, controlled way. It often starts with fully refined white sugar crystals. The manufacturers then add a specific amount of molasses back into the white sugar. This allows them to create different types of brown sugar with consistent flavor and moisture levels. For example, dark brown sugar has more molasses added to it than light brown sugar, which gives it a stronger, more intense caramel flavor. It's a clever way to guarantee you get the same perfect result in your baking every single time. The wonderful thing about brown sugar is how versatile it is. In our kitchens, it's a superstar ingredient. Its moisture helps make cakes, cookies, and brownies incredibly soft and chewy. That rich caramel flavor is essential for things like gingerbread, barbecue sauces, and glazes for ham or salmon. It doesn't just add sweetness, it adds depth and character to a dish. I love using it to sprinkle over my morning porridge or to caramelize onions for a rich, sweet flavor that's just out of this world. It's a real pantry staple, but its uses go way beyond just cooking and baking. Believe it or not, brown sugar makes a fantastic natural skin scrub. Just mix it with a bit of olive oil or coconut oil, and you've got yourself a simple, homemade exfoliator that leaves your skin feeling super soft. In some cultures, brown sugar is still used in traditional remedies. It's sometimes mixed with ginger and hot water to create a soothing drink for a sore throat or a cold. It's amazing how one simple ingredient can have so many different uses in our daily lives. Let's have a chat about whether brown sugar is any better for you. Because it contains molasses, brown sugar does have tiny amounts of minerals like calcium, potassium and iron, which you won't find in white sugar. However, let's be honest, the amounts are very, very small. You would have to eat a massive amount of brown sugar to get any real nutritional benefit, and that's not a good idea. At the end of the day, sugar is sugar. It's a source of energy, and it makes food taste great. But it should always be enjoyed in moderation as part of a balanced diet. Just like with any sweet treat, having too much brown sugar can have its downsides. Overconsumption of sugar of any kind can contribute to health issues like weight gain, tooth decay, and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. It's all about balance. A little bit of brown sugar in your baking or a sprinkle on your oatmeal is perfectly fine and adds so much joy to food. But it's important to be mindful of how much you're having overall. Enjoy the lovely flavor, but don't go bonkers with it. Treat it as the special ingredient that it is. Not all brown sugars are created equal, and it's good to know the difference. The most common types you'll find are media group bowls lined up with light brown, dark brown, muscovado and demerara sugar. Close-up of multiple brown sugar types side by side, stock distribute equally. Light brown sugar has less molasses, giving it a delicate caramel flavor that's great for general baking. Dark brown sugar has a higher molasses content, which means a stronger, more robust flavor and more moisture. It's brilliant for things like gingerbread or rich fruitcakes. Muscovado, a less refined sugar with a very strong molasses taste and a sticky texture. Demerara, which has large crunchy crystals and a subtle toffee flavor. And here's a little secret for you. If you ever run out of brown sugar, you can make your own in a pinch. It's so simple. All you need is some regular white granulated sugar and a bit of molasses. For every cup of white sugar, stir in about 1 tablespoon of molasses for light brown sugar or 2 tablespoons for dark brown sugar. Just mix it all together with a fork or your fingers until it's evenly combined. Bosh! You've got homemade brown sugar ready for your baking. Well, it's a great little trick to have up your sleeve. The production of brown sugar, especially from sugarcane, is incredibly important for the economies of many countries. Millions of farmers and workers around the world depend on the sugar industry for their livelihoods. From planting and harvesting the cane to processing it in the mills, it provides jobs and supports entire communities. When we choose to buy fair trade sugar, we are helping to ensure that these workers get a fair wage and have better working conditions. It's a small choice in the supermarket that can make a big difference in someone's life, which is a powerful thing. Beyond its economic role, brown sugar holds a special place in many cultures and traditions. It's often a key ingredient in festive dishes and celebratory meals. Think of the rich, dark Christmas cakes in Britain, the sweet moon cakes enjoyed during the Mid-Autumn Festival in Asia, or the delicious sweets made for Diwali in India. These foods are more than just tasty, they are part of a shared heritage, passed down through generations. The distinct flavor of brown sugar helps to create memories and connect us to our families and our history, making every bite feel like a celebration. When you think about it, brown sugar is much more than just a simple ingredient. It's a little bit of nature's magic. It brings warmth, depth, and a gorgeous, comforting flavor to our food that you just can't get from anything else. Its soft texture and rich caramel notes make our baking better, our sauces tastier, and our morning porridge a little bit more special. It's a humble but powerful player in the kitchen, capable of transforming simple ingredients into something truly delicious and memorable. It's one of those ingredients that just makes you happy. So, let's celebrate brown sugar for what it is, a wonderful, natural product with a rich history and a place in traditions all over the world. It connects us to the earth, to the farmers who grow it, and to the generations of cooks who have used it to bring joy to their families. Whether you're baking a batch of chewy cookies, stirring it into a savory glaze, or simply sprinkling it on some fruit, you're using an ingredient that is full of character and story. So next time you use it, take a moment to appreciate its sweet caramel goodness Lovely stuff.